Hey everyone, as you might have heard, Donald Trump is not a big fan of Ilhan Omar or the Somali immigrant community in Minneapolis.
We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing.
Hey everyone, I'm Rich Lowry of National Review, and yeah, let's talk about Ilhan Omar. I should stipulate up front, though, I don't think a president of the United States should call anyone garbage unless he means it fondly, a little like this guy.
Oh, I love trash. Anything dirty or dingy or dusty. Anything ragged or rotten or rusty. Yes, I love trash.
Great American character right there. A little grumpy, but a great one. Now, of course, Donald Trump did not mean what he said fondly, but he's been trying to catalyze a debate over immigration in this country in the wake of that horrific shooting of National Guard members in Washington, D.C., carried out by an Afghan national. And one of the questions should be, is it too much to ask for immigrants to the United States to love America and its system of government? And clearly, Ilhan Omar is an example of an immigrant who falls down by this standard. She's an ingrate. She is hostile to the American system. And perhaps she is not above perpetrating immigration fraud for selfish reasons to take advantage of the system. Maybe the next time that Ilhan Omar and her family are desperate refugees fleeing a civil war in a desperately poor African country, they should try Canada or Australia. Omar's family fled the Somali Civil War and was granted asylum here in the United States in the 1990s. She lived for a time in Arlington, Virginia, before going on to Minneapolis. Neither of these places is a hellhole, right? Arlington, Virginia is one of the most desirable counties in the United States, right there on the border of Washington, D.C., very affluent, and Minneapolis isn't bad either. You would think in building a successful life here, far from Mogadishu, and a land of plenty and peace and opportunity, she would have accumulated a steady debt of gratitude to this great country. There aren't many so-called heritage Americans, by the way, who become members of Congress or have a net worth that's something like $30 million. Omar's husband has a venture capital fund, but no, quite the opposite. In Omar's version, a Washington Post profile noted a couple years ago, America wasn't the big-hearted country that saved her from a brutal war and a bleak refugee camp. It wasn't a meritocracy that helped her attend college or vaulted her into Congress. Instead, it was the country that had failed to live up to its founding ideals, a place that had disappointed her and so many immigrants, refugees, and minorities. Okay, America's not perfect. It can always use reforms and improvement. But if you're an Ilhan Omar, in fact, if you're anyone, your attitude should be, I love this country, I'm grateful for it, but we need to get better at this. That is not the sense that Ilhan Omar has at all. Here she is in her own words.
We are not merely fighting to tear down the systems of oppression in the criminal justice system. We are fighting to tear down systems of oppression that exist in housing, in education, in healthcare, in employment, in the air we breathe.
So there you have it. America is fundamentally corrupt. It's systems of oppression layered on top of other systems of oppression, literally inescapable. This is a fundamentally anti-American critique of America, and we are hearing it from someone who we took in out of the bigness of our heart, out of our good intentions and our good faith, and utterly transformed her life. It'd be nice if we could just hear a plain and simple thank you. Then there's her bristling hostility to Israel, which goes to a fundamentally anti-Western attitude and anti-Semitic attitude. So look, there are two big ways to view the United States and the American project and how immigrants fit in. One is that we are overwhelmingly a culture, so it's going to be difficult for people from other cultures to fit in. The other is that we're a creedal nation. We're a kind of idea or a set of ideas. We're propositional, and anyone from anywhere can come in, and so long as they believe in those ideals and uphold those ideals, they fit in here. So let's just put aside, for the sake of argument, the cultural view. Let's say that's too narrow. Even on the creedal view of America, Ilhan Omar falls down. She does not love our system of government. She thinks it should be revolutionized and overturned, and she thinks this as an immigrant to America. So there's a lot of talk by people, what's a model minority or a model immigrant? Well, Ilhan Omar is a model of what we shouldn't want in an immigrant. Look, she's here. She's a naturalized U.S. citizen. None of that's going to change. She has a big platform. Fine. But in terms of what we're looking for going ahead, we can be choosy. There's so many people around the world so desperate to come here. We can stand to pick and choose people who are going to fit in, who are going to assimilate, and who are going to love the United States of America. I'm Rich Lowry, over and out.